Good evening. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. It's the Gaming Podcast Live. It's Sunday, and we're live, and it's the Gaming Podcast. Have I said it's Gaming Podcast? It's the Gaming Podcast. Good evening, Mia. Welcome.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm very excited. It's going to be a great show. We've got a fantastic guest. Literally makes me laugh even thinking about it. Just genuinely one of my most favorite streamers. I apologize to everyone else that's been on already thinking they were my favorite streamer. You're not. Gaming Podcast Live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the news listeners. If you're new, welcome. It's the partner podcast of Gayming Magazine, the world's only LGBTQ video game magazine. So obviously I've already introduced Mia, my fantastic co-host.
Of course.
I know you're feeling a bit delicate because
I am feeling a little bit delicate. Yeah, I had my second vaccination shot yesterday, so I'm a little bit all over the place today. So if I'm weird or low energy or not making any sense or speaking too quickly, that's no different than usual. But now I have something to blame it on, which is the vaccination. So yeah, I've been vaccinated. That's my second one, and so I'm ready to fight potential viruses. Even though
2 weeks time you can get back outside licking
exactly, just going and hugging and kissing random people on the street. Don't do that, by the way. That's not how vaccines work. So I'm feeling a bit iffy, but I'm going to pull through. I'm going to get this done. And just a quick reminder for everybody joining us live. Of course, this is a live show, so you can interact here in the chat over here at twitch.tv/gamingmag, or over at the Discord, which you can go to gamingmag.com/Discord. Join the Discord, chat away over there, and maybe the stuff that you talk about will make it into a future episode or even this episode of the podcast. Anywho, we usually don't do this alone, though, like the two of us. We usually have a super, super special guest. And this week, as you previously mentioned, it is the wonderful, the amazing, the fabulous CeddyOrNot.
Hey,
applause.
Ceddy.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. How are you doing today?
I am doing fabulous. I mean, you know what happened before the stream, but I'm not gonna make everybody feel down because of my experience. But yeah, I'm about to have fun because even though I'm a little bit angry.
Yeah. It's okay to be angry. Online games get me angry so often, especially with toxic players. There's a little bit of a toxic situation earlier, but we're here now and we're ready to rock and roll. That is the weirdest thing I said today.
Yes.
Let's rock and roll indeed. We always kick off the podcast with our usual opening topic of the weekly recaps. That's what we've been up to the last couple of weeks, playing games, hanging out, doing stuff, watching TV, etc. On the last podcast, if anybody remembers, I might have alluded to something really exciting that I was doing on Animal Crossing, hence me needing to get back into Animal Crossing. I couldn't talk about it back then. I can talk about it now if I find the link. So if you have been reading Gaming, and I really hope you have been, I actually got to go and hang out with Maisie Williams of Game of Thrones, of Arya Stark, on Animal Crossing.
On Animal Crossing, that's amazing. Sorry, how did this happen? Can you give us a little bit more information than that? Or
We're best buds. So H&M ran a campaign inspired by it's called Loop, LOOP or something, which is about clothing recycling. And basically what happened is that they designed an island, H&M designed an island, and they got Maisie. Maisie's their sustainability ambassador or some slightly weird topic. Loads of activities going on throughout the whole year. It kicks off with Maisie Williams on Animal Crossing, hosting her island, and there's me, and I get to go and hang out with Maisie Williams. And
how was that experience?
Weird.
That sounds amazing.
Because hanging out with a celebrity, you're not quite sure whether it's the actual celebrity on the other end. But luckily, I actually was on a voice call at the time, and I genuinely, I knew that Maisie had just been interviewed because I could hear her on the call, and it was like, everyone say hi to Maisie, hi Maisie, and then it was kind of like, well, that's that then. But I was actually there a little bit early, being British and organized. And their PR was like, "Oh God, I've got to go and do something." Robin, can you just talk to Maisie for a second? I was like, yeah, hi, Maisie. And we just like 5-10 minutes of just me and her chatting. And so I sort of complained about her Game of Thrones. No, I didn't. No, I
You just use the opportunity to rip the shit into Maisie Williams because you hate her so much.
What were you doing in the last series? No, it was bizarre, but it was a good bizarre. So yeah, that's kind of hanging out with Maisie Williams on Animal Crossing. I dropped the
fun.
Wow.
Yeah,
Look
I
at
dropped the link.
Flags.
I dropped the link in the chat. Everyone go and check that out afterwards. And yes, there's some fantastic stuff. You can still get on board. I believe there's a dream code knocking around on their Twitter that you can go and check out the island. And obviously Maisie's not there anymore. She has a life. But yeah, there's some pictures. Postcards that I took from Loop Isle.
It's so
what
cute.
What else? It's honestly gorgeous. That I am genuinely in awe of people that have that much patience to be able to build an island on Animal Crossing. Because as regular listeners of this podcast will know, I get very bored of games very quickly. And my Animal Crossing island still genuinely looks like a bit of grass with a few huts plonked on top of it. Like there's literally, I just get bored. But they created this wonderful sort of beautifully sustainability driven, purple inspired. They went out their way to get all of the characters who are purple. So they literally got, using amiibos and invites and everything else, they had to not only sort of farm all the purple stuff they could find to put in the plants and everything else.
They farmed all the purple villagers.
Yeah, they went and found all the villagers who are purple. I mean, they put they're paid, obviously, H&M and paying them a decent wage to do it, but they put 300 hours of creation just into crafting this island and trying to sort of recreate this whole loop machine thing. Bizarre.
Just to promote sustainability in terms
promoting
of
sustainability,
clothing.
Absolutely, because H&M in real life, this bit isn't made up. In real life, they now have what's called their loop machine, which tears apart old clothes and reconstitutes as new thread. And so it's kind of like it's ironically H&M that are possibly a bit bad for fast fashion.
I was gonna not to I was
they're at least trying to fix that.
maybe they're trying to actually do something. Well, at least it's not Primark. Let's just say that. So yeah, they're at least they're trying to do something to help. So that's good.
Yes, I think they know they know their shit.
I actually have a quick question. Ceddy, did you jump into the Animal Crossing craze when that was about last year, or did you avoid that?
God, I was part of the hype. I even wanted to be an Animal Crossing dedicated streamer. I'm not even lying to you. I was like, because I really enjoyed, the new Leaf. So I was like, oh my God, New Horizons coming. And then, all right, for the first 1 week, no sleep at all. It was just grinding, paying off the bills, being a very hardworking, resident. And then after that, I got so bored of the game. And every day, I'm just thinking about ways to come up with very creative ideas for my island. I even built a casino on my island.
That's amazing.
I invited my friends to travel. But the game, dun, 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 dun. For 8 people to come in, like you have to just sit there and wait. And it just takes one person to disconnect.
And
everybody gets
the whole
bounced
thing.
off. Yeah, and you're like, oh.
I think those are the two things that kind of killed it for me as well. Just the fact that Nintendo didn't release it with all the features of the past games, and then they were rolling those out over time. I think by the time the wedding stuff came out in June or July, I was just like, no, I can't do this anymore. It's just too boring now.
I think you're absolutely right, Ceddy. The multiplayer and the irony, of course, that Animal Crossing New Horizons won. Was it the BAFTA Mia for
it was
multiplayer?
A BAFTA award for best multiplayer.
It's the shittest multiplayer game ever. It's the worst experience. I mean, even literally with going into this place with Maisie Williams, we all got kicked out because someone looked the wrong direction at their Switch or something, and it all fell apart.
Ooh.
And this was literally the PR company shitting themselves because they've been paid an awful lot of money to do this. But also, my other little sort of thing is once you get through and you have KK What's His Face come and play silly, crappy music on the island. Sorry if anyone likes it. You then get the sort of the path laying. I have an aneurysm when I'm trying to lay paths. It's just the dumbest.
It is incredibly tedious.
It's like you line them up. You want to. I want to put a path here, and it goes over there somewhere. It's like no, we're not. It's literally a straight line. I've been doing a straight line for ages. Can't we just draw this out like this?
I don't
You
know.
literally have a touch screen. Like you could use that. Yeah.
I find that game very funny because people were like arguing with me the other day about like, oh, it's Nintendo, like, you know, they're not very optimized with their online system. I was like, okay, now look, if that is the truth, then how do you explain when I was playing Minecraft Dungeon on Switch? If Robin or Mia want to jump in, literally you just have to press a button and you two will just appear like instantaneously. I don't have to wait for you to turn, and then the Sex and the City theme music, and then Mia says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm disconnected." Like what? It's only Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like all Nintendo, not published games, but Nintendo developed side games. They have this very archaic view of like online stuff, which is really weird. Like, I don't think I can even think of a Nintendo game that has drop-in, drop-out stuff that is actually like developed by Nintendo themselves. Third-party stuff, amazing. You know, stuff that's developed by any other studio, amazing. Nintendo, not so much, unfortunately.
I say it.
Definitely.
I'm not sponsored by them, so flop.
I do get free stuff from Nintendo, but even so, yeah, you gotta improve that Nintendo.
Yeah, you got a lot of work to do. Like everybody was like, "Oh my god, what if they have new features?" Like, relax, stop complaining, Ceddy. You know, you're not supposed to play in like 1 week. You're supposed to like, you know, stretch it out, and every month they would update new stuff. Okay, where?
Well, Bunny Day.
And it's back again. Bunny Day.
Again.
Yay. Yay. Nothing got changed.
Nothing's changed. It's still scary. It's still annoying. Yep.
I literally, just after I had my first breakdown about Animal Crossing, I then had Bunny Day and proceeded to have an even bigger breakdown of like, you're still trying to, I didn't understand it. Like, you're still trying to craft, you're still trying to get your basics done. And you're trying to sort of like build a chair. And it's like, no, I'm just getting fucking eggs now. And it's just, and then they decide to do a fishing competition on the same day as having the eggs in the water. And it's like, catch 5 fish, egg.
And remember, okay, so do you know, like every time when you go into your resident's house and they're creating something and you're like, oh my God, maybe they're going to create some new things for us? A new recipe, and it's always box chair, box table, box. I'm about to box you. Oh God.
Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, it was very much a bit of a letdown looking back at Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
I
got so stressed just trying to get first place for the fishing.
I didn't even try to do the fishing thing. I just, for what was meant to be a very relaxing game, it gave me a lot of anxiety.
Yeah, that's a question actually. Are there any other like games that you've played and had a good online experience on the Nintendo system, Robin?
Not that I can think of. Purely because
like, I've been playing Rise and that's been pretty okay. Like,
okay. A lovely leap. Excellent leap in topic. Because my other thing that I was going to talk about as my weekly update was that I've been dragged into Monster Hunter Rise.
Did you actually start playing Rise?
Yeah.
For real? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. And no, I don't like that. Really?
It's not brilliant. It's not brilliant.
Okay. All right. Okay. Tell me. I'm gonna let you speak before I
So
respond.
So so my other half, Chris, is a Monster Hunter sort of huge fan, and he's been on at me, sort of pecking away at sort of like play Monster Hunter Rise, play Monster Hunter Rise. Like, no. And we shared a couple of chats previous on this podcast around how I haven't quite sort of plugged into the last Monster Hunter of just these innocent random creatures minding their own business, and you're just slaughtering everyone in sight. And it's because you fancy a new hat. But this one apparently is a little bit different. So I gave it a go. I sort of succumbed, and okay. I've only been playing it for say a day, and really, it's cute. I get it. It's cute. I literally adore the animation they do every time you go and have a bunny dango. That's delightful. It really is. But it's still just running around killing some animals. They don't have health bars, which is really annoying because I don't know how well I've been killing these things. They all bloody run off after 2 minutes of me sort of attacking them. And the first time I was doing it, I was imagining sort of like a clever combination of kind of like triggers and buttons to sort of do loads of different moves and whatever else. And it's like, no, you just press X and it's like slash. And it's just like, so then I had to I sort of retooled slightly and got myself a gun. And I felt a little bit happier. I felt a little bit happy with a gun in my hand. So I'm
slicing at the animals, so you decided just to shoot them instead. Yeah, I
felt it was it's more again, regular listen to the podcast. If I'm not killing something within 2 minutes of turning a game on, I'm already losing interest.
So you would not like Monster Hunter in that case.
Put a gun in my hand. Also, we're going to talk about this a little bit later because it does actually play into one of the topics we're talking about this week. In terms of accessibility. The tutorials are appalling.
They're not good. I will say
you don't get told anything.
There's a lot of obfuscation in terms of information on what you're supposed to do in that game.
Thank you so much. I was like, I'm gonna go into the game for the very first time, no direction whatsoever. Let's try it on the stream. Everybody's gonna, if you want to backdoor me, I don't. The backseat to the backdoor. Oh, there's a big.
That's a very different show.
I'm sorry.
I'm not sure that's allowed on Twitch.
Yeah. Feel free. And I was just listening to them giving me explanation. Now you need to press this to, you get to dash, press that. I was like, oh my God, too much. And I got bored. And then my viewers know that I got bored and everybody just don't talk anymore in the chat. And I was like, I'm done. I'm done.
I'm not reading that comment from chat there.
I'm sorry if this channel gets suspended after this. I am responsible for all the mess.
Okay. Let's get back to Monster Hunter Rise. I'm going to stick with it. It's a bit of fun. It's a bit harmless, but actually, you're right, Mia.
Yes. What am I right about? I mean, yes, I am.
I can't.
Go ahead.
I can't do. I can't speak to online play, but I can speak to local co-op play. So Chris and I sitting next to each other on the sofa with a Switch in each other's hand. That sounded weird. It's gonna be one of those episodes. So I can see it, and I'm sort of enjoying it a bit, and I'm sort of like, but I don't get the hype. Good game.
I will say, Monster Hunter is always more fun when you got a bunch of friends together actually killing monsters together.
I can see that, I think.
Not play that game by myself. Like, literally, I've had the opportunity to, but like if you're just slashing at monsters with some friends and then you don't have to think I'm completely responsible for actually killing this thing, that it makes me a lot happier when I'm literally just like, I'm just going to go do my thing. I'm going to go collect some stuff. And, the monster died. Okay, cool. I helped, I guess, maybe. But yeah, so I've been having fun.
I was going to say, how have you been finding it? Because for a cheap,
I love it.
You got sent a Switch.
I did. They sent me the Monster Hunter Switch. So yeah, Nintendo. I love Nintendo and Monster Hunter. It's really cool and good. But it does have some issues. But it's nice to see that they brought the world system across, which was a lot more popular than anything else. I can't play any other type of Monster Hunter game on the Switch. Every other Monster Hunter game has been so crappy and clunky up until World on the PC. So the fact that this game is basically just World downsized and put onto the Switch, it's a lot more accessible. Plus, you got a doggo too, so that made me very happy.
Just a real quick note to the people in the chat. We're joined this week by Ceddy.
Oh, yes.
Because we're still getting used to the bots. So Ceddy is not
That's
I am
my
Brandon.
fault.
I am Brandon.
I'll
last
get that
episode,
sorted.
Ceddy is the second.
No, I'm listening. Like I played the game before, so I can relate to it. Yeah,
We've got a new bot in the chat. So we're still training him. At the moment, it's coming up with the wrong details. Anyway, look, let's carry on. So that's been my weekly activities, pressured into Monster Hunter Rise, and obviously Animal Crossing with Maisie Williams. Mia, what have you been up to?
Oh, I've been up to not a lot actually, because my PC started breaking. Kind of, yeah. So I had to go out and buy new parts to a PC. So this Monday, I built a mini ITX PC. It's absolutely tiny. It's got this massive tower, and now the streaming PC is like about as big as my hand. Like going up to there, literally just like a box. It's more like a console now than anything else, but it's a lot more powerful than my old PC. So I'm very, very happy with it. I had to rebuild it on Monday, and then for the rest of the week, I've literally been like moving all my stuff across and trying to get everything redone. And then like family stuff has just been coming on and just making my whole week stressful. But I did manage to get to play a couple of new games this week. Well, I say new. I played Nier Replicant, which is a re-release of a very old game. I say a very old game. I think it came out probably like 7 or 8 years ago originally, but it's the game that came out before Nier Automata, which is the one that everybody really likes. And yeah, I've been having fun with it. I can see how people like it. I've heard that there's some problematic stuff in there too, considering there's
horrible is one of them. I'm not going to talk too much on it because I think it's not even worth giving it oxygen. But you can get a reward, an achievement for doing something incredibly gross.
There's an intersex character in the game, and apparently I have not met them in the playthrough yet because I'm still very early on, but if you try and check certain parts of their body with the camera, then you're rewarded for that, which is a little gross. So
Wait, what game is that?
That's Nier Replicant. So it's a very, again, like I said, it came out several years ago, probably like 11 years ago, 2010. Thank you. Yeah, it came out in 2010. But the weird thing is that particular achievement was added to the remake and isn't from the original game, which is super.
You can't blame
odd.
that. You can't blame that on history, unfortunately. Plus, as well, if you're doing a remake or you're doing a remaster, perhaps use that opportunity to sort of square up a few things. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if it was from an old version, like, sort your shit out. But they didn't.
I will say, other than Nier, and like the gameplay with that is super cool. That's fun in general. So I'm giving it like the benefit of doubt that everything else in that game is going to be kind of good. The voice acting in there that they've re-recorded for a lot of characters is absolutely fantastic. The main character, I think, is the same VA as the male main character in Genshin Impact. And I also think they're the person who voiced, I can't remember their name, but they're also the VA for Tanjiro, who's the main character of Demon Slayer. Also, they're that whole side of it has been very, very cool. Other than Nier, though, I've also been playing Celeste. And now the reason that I wanted to dive back into Celeste, because I'd started this game, Zach Aguilar, thank you. Yeah, Zach Aguilar is the name of that VA. But the reason that I wanted to jump back into Celeste is that studio has just announced a new game that's coming at some point called Earthblade. And I know for a fact that I pretty much love everything about Celeste. The pixel art, the soundtrack by Lena Raine is so freaking good. It's amazing. And the protagonist of the game actually happens to be transgender, as well as one of the main devs on it too happens to be transgender, as well as the person,
and the
Lena Raine herself, the composer, is transgender also. So it's like made by LGBTQ people and features an LGBTQI plus protagonist. I mean, that wasn't revealed until like a DLC down the line, but I'm willing to forgive it because so many lovely, lovely people are involved in the actual game. So I'm just really excited for this new one that's coming out. And I'm actually going to try and finish Celeste because I've gotten back to the point that I was at when I started the game originally. And I just need to like push forward and do more stuff because the game is incredibly like difficult as a platformer. Like it's really tight with its controls and it feels good to play. But after playing Nier, like I played the two on the same day, like my hand was like aching to death. Like you use the trigger button to grab onto the wall and I just couldn't. But I heard that has some nice accessibility features too, funnily enough, tying into our conversation later. But yeah, I'm really excited for the follow-up that's going to be coming up. Well, I say follow-up, I imagine it's going to be completely different and won't have anything to do with the original game. But yeah, did you get a chance to play Celeste? Either have you actually?
I haven't. I have to admit, it has been on my features. It has been on my list. Unfortunately, my list of games to play is ridiculously long, like everyone else's, and I keep falling back into the same old trope.
Well, it depends if you like platformer games, but I think it's fantastic.
I'm usually quite good with the platformer.
And there's a very like personal story to like the main character as well, as far as I've been told. I've not played through it enough to get there yet, but it deals with a lot of, I'm assuming, like mental health issues too. So definitely worth playing. I think the whole idea of you climbing a mountain in that game might also be an analogy for something else, but I've not reached the ending of the game, so I'm not sure about that yet. But definitely I'll report back to you what I find when I finish the game. So
excellent.
Yeah. Also, I've not played anything else, but Ceddy, what have you been up to this week or in general with the games that you've been playing?
Okay, so as usual, the gays will always go back to Dead by Daylight. No reason at all. And then
I got you.
Yeah. No, we just love pain, tortured, electrocuted, hung, chased, you know. And then we started getting into First Class Trouble. One of my sisters were like, "Oh, you know, we should try this game. It looks fun." And indeed, it looked very fun. And he said, "Oh, is this like Among Us?" I said, "Yeah, it's Among Us, but the graphics are way better and way polished." And yeah, granted, there are some bugs. We had fun, but again, you know, just like any other games, when it involves voice communication and random people joining, you are bound to deal with people who are gonna like just call you slurs out of nowhere. You'll be, and it's weird. I've been like on and off. I've been very busy with because my TikTok is like blowing up. You know, I don't want to be like, "Oh my God, Ceddy, you are such a show off."
Be that person.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. But I'm very proud. Like yesterday was my second month on TikTok, and I've grown to 50,000 followers, all because Malaysians love food. And I've been vlogging about food, and yeah, people dig my commentary because I'm very honest. I was trash talking this cafe that I think is overhyped because no, the thing is that a lot of people were like, "Oh, you know, it's personal preference." I say, yeah, but if I'm paying $7 for a small cup of latte, it better taste like latte, not watered down sugar water. Like people, like a lot of people were like, yeah, oh my God, like that is very expensive because we have this new cafe. There was like people queue at 6 a.m. just to get the cup of coffee. Yeah, and the reason why it's getting a lot of hype is because it is very famous in, I don't know if you guys have heard it, it's called Arabica. Have you heard of it? It's not the Arabica bean, but like the shop is called Arabica itself. So
sorry. Thought you meant
the
bean.
Yeah. You see, yeah, it's not a coffee bean, but it's the coffee shop. It's called Arabica, and it's a first, you know, it's a Japanese brand, and it opened in Malaysia, the first branch. People queue from 6 a.m, and the price is ridiculously expensive, more expensive than Starbucks. Really? And it tastes bad. So I was there. I was like, oh my God, 28 ringgit. That was like $7 for a cup of small latte that's watered down. Nonsense. And then everybody was like, oh my God, we need to follow this influencer because he's very honest. You know, we like his vibe. And I have to quickly make a video and say, okay, I know you love me for being honest, but please do not equate honesty as trash talking, because I don't want you all to think that, oh, just because you want me to be honest, then I have to nitpick on every restaurant that I go. That's not what I'm doing. But like, if the food is good, then the food is good. I don't want you to be like, oh, Ceddy, please trash talk this fish. But the fish is good. What do you want me to say?
So everybody's looking for a Ceddy's hot takes on where is good to go. Have you where's been the best place that you've been so far when you've been doing these reviews?
Well, I can't, because we're still on lockdown, so I can't go to many places. Most of the places that I go are really just restaurants, cafes, and those that I managed to like put it in my vlogs. They are mostly pleasant, and they really gave me good experience. And they have to be nice, because COVID is killing businesses these days, and they cannot afford to like piss somebody off, and then somebody like put them on blast, and that's the end.
I can't remember the last time I even went to a restaurant or a bar to go and like eat anything. Like everything has literally been either delivery or just like make it at home. Fortunately, my sister does a lot of the cooking here, and she is fantastic at cooking stuff. But yeah, I'd like. I'm
cafe hopping a thing for you guys? Like, do you all hop?
Define cafe hopping. What do you mean by cafe hopping?
So over here we have this little culture where we there will be people who every day they will go to like different cafes just to like taste their coffee, relax. So we call it cafe hopping. They will go from one trendy cafe to another. They hop around like a grasshopper. So I don't know if it is a thing. Like if I was to be in your country today and I do vlogging, I'm like, hi, I'm at this cafe. Will I have the same reaction as what my people will give me?
I think so. I think
probably.
I don't know. I think so.
I think I'm far too reserved to do it myself, but maybe I should. I don't know. I've not really heard of it being a massive thing in the UK, but I imagine there are people like in like trendy people in London.
I think I was going to say. I think trendy people. It's a trendy thing. So I think trendy cafes, trendy bars. It's there are a few sort of popping up in Birmingham where we are. Manchester's got a few. London obviously has a ton. So I think, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to sort of think about my own socials. Like I see a lot of friends sort of jumping in and sort of like cropping up at their favorite places. But I think everyone has a favorite place. Like if I go into the city centre here, I have one cafe that I probably will go to because I like the tea. But I'm not sure that I would. If a new cafe opens, I'm not exactly going to be the first one there to sort of go, oh my God,
same.
I'm a new cafe. And it's like, oh, no.
Okay, this is a running joke that is happening in my country right now. Everybody is requesting me to go to Taco Bell. And let me tell you.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. Taco Bell opened in my country just a few weeks ago. People were queuing for 2 hours. And when they reached when they finally got into the restaurant, they have to wait for another hour and a half to get a miserable taco. I mean, like everybody said, but the taco is great. God. Now, the funny thing is, it's not like we have never seen tacos before. It's not like Malaysia is. We have Mexican restaurants, like literally, authentic Mexican restaurants around. We have all been exposed to Taco Bell, tacos. But when the minute Taco Bell opened in my country, people were like, Ceddy, are you gonna like go there? I say, look, I have a lot of respect and love for myself. I am not gonna queue. I'm not gonna wait. I'm not the kind of person that's gonna be like, oh my God, let me be the first few influencers who's gonna be in those cafes. No. Because I don't. What would you queue for food? Will you queue 2 hours for food?
Definitely not for Taco Bell. No, I mean, if it was something that was available for like one day only, maybe. But even then, like it'd have to be really goddamn good. Like change your life, kind of good. You know what I mean? Like,
and I was like, y'all, please understand that Taco Bell is a fast food restaurant in other parts of the world. It's like our McDonald's. We have KFC, we have McDonald's, we have Starbucks. Like Taco Bell is not the authentic taco restaurant, but people, because it's the first ever chain in our country, everybody's like, 2 hours of queue in the middle of a pandemic.
We had in Birmingham, we had a Tim Hortons open. Timothy Horton is a Canadian coffee brand, a Canadian coffee chain, and there's one in Tim Horton. Yeah, there's one in Edinburgh and there's one in Birmingham, and I think that's about it. But it caused like this huge uproar, and there's queues of people around the block, and it's like it's just a coffee chain. Like, please go and support independent coffee places. Please go and support independent cafes. And you can tell they're independent cafes because the art on the wall is shit. And
oh my god! Whenever somebody say the place is like Instagrammable, I instantly do not want to go because y'all spend too much on the aesthetics. Y'all won't care about the quality of the food. Yeah, that is always the case.
But this Tim Hortons, it's like it's Starbucks, it's Costa, it's Cafe Nero, it's all the other chain coffee places that we have. It's nothing special. The only thing they do is what they call their Tim Tams, I think, which are literally the holes in the donut that have been punched out, and you get like the donut hole, but it's little donut balls. But I mean, that's hardly exciting, and it's not worth standing in the cold for 2 hours. Anyway, Timbits, thank you.
Timbits.
It's the hilarious. We had there's a mint in the UK called Polo, which is like a circle with a hole in it, and some marketing genius at one point decided to sell the what they claim was the middle of the mint in the same way the middle of the donut, as if that is even how it's produced. It's not, but it's geniusly sort of marketed as like the middle of the donut or the middle of the mint. Anyway, we're getting horrendously off topic. This is the gaming podcast.
So I used that opportunity to go ahead and fix the bot commands as well during that entire spiel. So
is she behaving herself now?
Yes. Yeah, the bot is now behaving herself. Yes.
We are actually promoting the right guest now.
Yes, we're promoting the right guest now. Thank God for that. Okay, cool.
Yes, the guest is being a diva. The guest is very upset. I am not. I am Brandon.
If that's all our weekly recaps done, I'm going to talk about. We've already started talking about it a little bit, but I want to talk about disability. I want to talk about accessibility and inclusivity, because I think it's really, really important to sort of state at this point that for whatever reason, everyone should be able to play a game, any game.
Yes.
You really should be able to pick it up, and whether that's through disability, whether it's through physical disability, mental disability, whether it's like I say, accessibility around subtitles for language barriers, whether it's just the fact that you're shit at games, you should be able to pick up a game. It should have a good tutorial. You should have sort of that pick up and go kind of thing. And we ran a piece this week on gaming, which is not that link, bugger. It was a brilliant piece by a new writer that's joined us, Katie, and she did a fantastic piece where she went off and spoke to a few people who identify as being disabled in various ways, and it's a really positive impact that games have on people with disabilities, and it was beautiful, and it really got me thinking about the importance of accessibility in games. And I was lucky enough to host a panel this week as well at Pocket Gamer Connect Digital, talking about inclusivity and accessibility in games. And there was there's 4 people on the panel, and each one, when I asked them about what does it mean to make an inclusive game, somebody was on about, well, pronouns. So from a sort of an identity point of view, identity accessibility. Somebody talked about subtitles. Somebody talked about keypads and joysticks and being able to sort of change, as somebody mentioned earlier in the chat, I think, about slowing Celeste down so they could keep up with the controls. And somebody else talked about the ability just to pick a game up and play it with good tutorials. And so that was interesting that I just found there's 4 different definitions from 4 people about what an accessible game is. There was one example, and I'm going to throw it out for a general conversation in just a second, but there was one example of an old game, which was a puzzle game. And one of the puzzles was you had to listen, and you had to tell the game, the puzzle, whoever, how many drips you heard. And that sounded really interesting. That sounded really cute. But if you're deaf, or if you're hard of hearing, that's the end of the game for you. So you couldn't progress any further without completing that puzzle.
Well, that remains.
We may be talking 10, 15 years ago, so there's obviously been
you
a
say
period
that,
of time.
but that's the same thing in certain games today. Did you ever try fishing in Animal Crossing? You know how difficult fishing in Animal Crossing is? Like,
because you have to listen.
You literally have to listen. I close my eyes to even be able to fish in that game because if I'm relying on my sight, I don't catch them. But if I'm just listening for it and then you hear it go under, press the A button straight away. Like, imagine if you're deaf, like. How impossible is that? It's dramatically terrible. I will say that a lot of games now seem to be getting better. I watched like a retrospective on the games that came out in 2020, and it was just talking about how a lot of the companies are actually doing good and putting accessibility options into their games, except Japanese companies, unfortunately. And it does seem like they're just the one particular market that's just behind in the whole accessibility area. You've got Microsoft out there pretty much leading the charge for everybody with, not only having accessibility options in all the games that they release, but also popping out stuff like their adaptive controller, which literally lets you just plug any amount of buttons and stuff into it.
Yeah.
But you've also got like their new console, apparently. What is it called? I can't remember what the naming convention of the Xbox console.
The S or the X?
Yeah, the S or the X. The Xbox X.
Series S or X, yeah.
Series S or Series X, yeah. So their controller setup is that you can still have custom controllers from the last generation work on their console. Whereas like with the PlayStation 5, anything before the PS5, the new PS5 controller is literally just locked out of the system. So any custom controllers that were made for the old system don't work going forward. And that's just a massive oversight. It's like little things like that you don't think would have that much of an impact. How impactful that would be for someone that doesn't necessarily have access to the things that you or I or anybody else that's, I say, not disabled would have, And
absolutely.
These things are important. I know that there are people, my friends, like I'm friends with some lovely people over at Special Effect, which is a charity that focuses on literally bringing gaming into the hands of like disabled gamers, and they're all about how much of a difference it makes to someone, how the joy that's on someone's face to actually give them a sense of control where otherwise they might not have had that. Imagine going your whole life without the ability to play video games and then being able to play a video game for once, or just have your ability to have video games just taken away from you. Like it's super important.
Well, this was what this article was talking about, was the importance of games and the games for good. And I always enjoy, video games get way too much bad press about sort of like addict this and damaging that and violence this and that sort of stuff, and I adore when we actually do good stuff which actually writes about how games are doing some good in the world. And it's giving people the article, I believe, references somebody with mental health issues, and they talk around how the video games are sort of soothe them and calm anxiety or calm whatever their symptoms are. And it really is kind of, for me, that's such a sort of important thing to remember, is that games can be used. Obviously Animal Crossing is a good example. It's given a lot of people a lot of comfort. It gives me an aneurysm every time I'm trying to lay a path, but that's
a week.
Exactly.
Yeah, for a week. Yeah, for about a week. Yeah. But in terms of like during the pandemic, that game did allow a lot of people to connect to otherwise wouldn't have been able to connect. That and games like Among Us and potentially Fall Guys as well were so big because they just allowed people to do things that they wouldn't otherwise be able to do. And it's just the exact same thing with the gamers who happen to be disabled or just part of other communities who aren't normally like welcome into regular communities. And it's nice to see like devs responding and changing things for the good for these communities too. There was that whole instance with Cyberpunk 2077, that whole epilepsy controversy that was surrounding it. And it was, I'm not sure how the devs actually ended up responding to that, actually. I'm not sure if they ended up actually like taking that out or changing it, but I can remember like the gamers' response to that, like the toxicity that was just thrown at this person for saying, hey, there's a sequence in this game that could cause epilepsy. There are literally people online they took the scene out. Fantastic. So the devs actually did something good there and took the scene out. But gamers, on the other hand, were like spamming this particular journalist with videos that were supposed to like trigger seizures in people, and it was just horrifying to see. Like that's the pushback that a lot of this gets. It just seems to be from certain sects of toxic individuals. Like the whole conversation around the whether or not you play a game on easy or hard in video games.
Yes. This is literally my sort of thing about this from another bit of inclusivity and accessibility. And I will put my hand up and say I'm a model at this point, because it's I hate difficult video games. I'm not here to be challenged and be stretched and improve my skills, and like I have a very busy life, and I would like to sit down and just play a video game.
You play video games to be entertained, like a lot of people do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So having
you're not going in to like prove anything. Like a lot of
I just want to know the plot. For me, it's a plot.
Absolutely. I don't have a small penis. I don't have anything to sort of like have to sort of like make up for or anything else.
Nothing to prove. Exactly.
Nothing to prove to anyone. And it's for me, it's like you're right. It is story based, and it's I really enjoy the games that have easy settings, that have kind of like low level. You can just see. I've actually seen. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I've seen a couple of games that have come out recently when it's been kind of like the difficulty setting of like hard, moderate, easy, and then story. And which is like, do not challenge me at all. Like, give me no challenge. I just want to play a story. And that's beautiful. And I think that's sort of, there needs to be more acceptance of people that play easy mode games. I feel like there's a lot of...
There is this like weird attachment with a lot of quote unquote gamers who seem to believe that you don't really have a place in gaming unless you're good video games, which is insane. I think there was a video that Ashley Roboto put out, which was literally just like a clip from her stream that kind of like went viral about talking to people about just let people play video games. And I was reading the comments of that particular post, and there's this one guy saying, okay, well, you just have to like say that you're a casual and that you're not very good at games. It's like nobody's arguing that they're good at games. People just want to be able to play the video game. It's there's this weird like complex that certain people seem to have, which is just becomes really toxic. It's like a form of gatekeeping almost.
It is gatekeeping. Like when you hear people talk about Sekiro and those crazy what's the word, Dark Souls, and they're like, oh my god, you play that in like a easy mode. Like I don't have time to be killed over and over and over and over again. See, when you keep dying, here's the thing. I always believe that when you are a streamer, you are a performer, like it or not. So like I'm a performer myself, and by the way, can I curse or this is
you heard me?
Ahead. Yeah. Oh, I think I don't think you curse, but okay. So anyway, I was like, look, if I keep dying or I keep getting frustrated, a game can fuck with my mood, and then my face is gonna be like,
absolutely.
And then when you tune in, like, oh, is Ceddy okay? And then my face is like, and then you started to like, hi Mia, hi Robin, and then you're like, whoa, what did we do to you? And then people leave. But like, this is why I always avoid playing difficult games on stream, because bitches will have always something to say. When I'm not playing game on stream, I download Trainer, like just to get to be God mode. My HP can't go down. Like I can kill monsters over and over again for like a lot of XP. I can do quick level because I just want to know the story. And I don't want to be good. I don't care. Call me a casual. Call me whatever you want. Call me all you want. Call me all you need.
To be fair, these options have always been in video games in terms of accessibility. They used to be called cheat codes, and you were able to actually just activate like God mode or infinite health or like use an action replay. And like nobody looked down on that. Nobody looked down on like
now they're called loot boxes.
Now they're called loot boxes. Yeah, now you have to pay for for
Oh my
getting
god,
good
remember
stuff
the
in
Game
gaming.
Shark era back then on
Mm.
PlayStation? Oh my god, we have to like source for the code online and have to be like zero, some.
God.
So, oh god mode.
Now I'm okay. Hold on a second, because now I'm feeling old. Because you just said having to look for cheat codes online. I was looking for cheat codes in magazines.
In books, like in your books, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
In a,
yeah, yeah.
in a
Magazines, find
reference
those little books.
library.
Just
Yeah.
how old are y'all?
Wow, I've been gaming from a very young age, so it was literally just like I'll just buy the cheat code books when I was like tiny. So yeah, I'm like
Yeah.
Like,
30.
do you not share
32
your
now.
age?
I'm
I'm
32.
35.
Well, wait. Mia, how old are you? How much? How old are you?
32.
I love the
Girl,
fact that
I
you
mean,
questioned
that's-
Mia's age, but not my age. So fuck you for that.
It's just estrogen.
Um,
Oh, poor Robin. Poor Robin. Never mind. Anyway.
Well, you see, the thing about white men.
Ceddy, thanks so much for coming. Bye.
Mean. Bring Ceddy back right now. Oh, God.
Oh, God.
I will say a little tangential to the actual conversation at hand in terms of accessibility, but
Right. Okay, we need to be serious. Yeah.
the serious time now. Yeah, there just seemed to be like a shift in like how even the term gaming is perceived now from like even inside, because like a lot of people look at the term gamer and just see that whole like toxic side, which is just willing to gatekeep people out of the industry.
Same as mobile gamers as well. People that play mobile games, nothing wrong with playing mobile games. Grab and go, jump in, get on with it. But again, it's like you're not a gamer because you only play on mobile.
Yeah, it doesn't make you a real gamer, you know. Like
Among Us, let's move on from that conversation.
People who are always making fun of mobile gamers, they have no idea. In Southeast ancient countries, mobile gamer is the thing, and
Like-
people make like a.
It's the thing all around the world. Mobile games vastly outstrip income and stuff for
I
any
will
other
say though that when I lived in Hong Kong, like just the actual like advertisements that you see everywhere, literally just
mobile
gaming, just nonstop. You got your gacha games, you got but it's like a much bigger market, or at least used to be. Obviously, I've not been there in about 7 years now. It was definitely, even back then, it was a massive market, mobile gaming. So yeah.
And I see the appeal in mobile gaming. You see, here's the thing. Here's a quick story, just a very quick story. You see, League of Legends is a popular game, right? Everybody knows League of Legends. So I think it was China, obviously. They created this game called Mobile Legends. They changed all the look, the appearance of the characters, but when you play, you kind of know if you are League of Legends player, like, come on, like you just know that, come on, this is Ash. You know, this is scene and all that. You just know the characters.
China ripping off intellectual property. Can you imagine?
Who would have thought? No way. That's not possible.
Yeah, no way. No, Genshin. Anyway, so they did it so well. And, you know, it took over the Southeast Asian by storm, and it became so popular. And that people, you know, there's an esports tournament going on that is like people actually compete playing that. And then for a while, League of Legends, we were like, because I played League of Legends, League of Legends is not very famous in my country, Dota is, but we were like, what is League of Legends not doing a mobile version? Like, why are y'all taking so long?
Yeah.
And finally, when they created Wild Rift, so they created Wild Rift, that is a mobile version of League of Legends. And do you know that when we started talking about us playing Wild Rift, some people were like, isn't this a copy of Mobile Legends? I was like, oh no! How dare you! Oh my god!
No.
Yeah, but the thing is that I believe that the reason why mobile gaming is so good is because it helps with accessibility. You don't have to mash buttons, you know. You just have to, you know, everything's so up close, and a few buttons is enough to like help you get through the game. And I like that. And
Absolutely.
people are like,
I like
you're
that
not a real
too. Yeah.
gamer? Oh, fuck off.
Well, that's going to change soon anyway, because they're literally about to do xCloud in mobile browsing on iPhones and stuff now. So like you'll be able to play anything that's on Xbox Game Pass literally on your iPhone. So then mobile gaming is going to change, isn't it? So I mean,
I know that a lot of cloud streaming services actually do support like just using your mobile phone as like a way to view the game too, which is going to be like a huge difference to the availability of games.
They've already started making certain games or redoing certain Microsoft Xbox Game Passes. Jesus, got there in the end. Game Pass games.
Just to like support on-screen UI changes and stuff.
Yes,
for mobile? That's awesome.
Minecraft Dungeons, the sort of slightly weird game they released.
Like the dungeon crawler.
A couple of years ago. If you play it on iPad or mobile or whatever, it puts the controllers on. It puts virtual joysticks and stuff on the screen, so you don't have to sit there with a separate controller. So you and that's going to get more and more popular as it goes. Which is
that's weird because, like, from an accessibility standpoint, it's like the opposite to me. I tried to play Genshin on mobile, and I was having so much trouble just because my hands felt so cramped on this little tiny screen. I like need something like bigger, otherwise, like my hands just like freeze up and just get horrifyingly painful. So it would be nice to see like more companies in general and again, this is another like Asian company that doesn't necessarily have like remapping or controller support in their games. It'd be nice to see that in certain video games.
So accessibility and inclusivity is coming on leaps and bounds, and I think it's
getting better.
It's beautiful to see, and I think it really is the future of gaming, is making sure that everyone can play the same game for whatever reason, whether it's easy, whether it's hard, whether it's with sort of physical or any other kind of disabilities or anything like that. And it's good to see. It's good for the industry and it's good for players. I want to move on because obviously we talk quite a bit on this program about Marvel and the Marvel world. We're talking about Marvel. So I apologize for everyone right now. We are going to be talking about the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I'm going to try and keep spoilers to a minimum, personally.
Yes.
But
I think we will. I certainly don't want to lose the viewers that we've got. We're still going to interview Ceddy. There's loads to come. So we will try and keep this as loosely as worded as we can. Oh my God. Just the whole series, it's stunning, and there are some lovely little twists and turns. There's a character that pops up in the last episode and in this episode that is a very big surprise, and it's a very big cameo played by a very, very big actor, and it really kind of, I think, is going to be the Marvel version of Suicide Squad.
You'd hope so. I
believe it's called the Thunderbolts, which is kind of like the shady.
It's like Thunderbolt Rock's like group that he gets together and sends on these like important missions behind the scenes and stuff. That's what everybody thinks is going to be coming next. There's no like confirmation of that, but literally like Marvel getting on board and like doing a version of Suicide Squad potentially properly. But we'll see what happens with like James Gunn and his DC debut as well. There, it's weird because it feels like Marvel's like just beating DC and like Warner Brothers to the punch at like every single opportunity now. They've got like Shang-Chi coming out at some point soon. Well, I say soon.
For that.
It looks so good, the trailer for that. I'm not sure if Ceddy, did you see the trailer for?
Yes, I have. I have. It's fierce.
Yeah.
Finally getting like the proper Mandarin in the MCU as well. No Ben Kingsley version of Mandarin anymore.
Tony Slattery.
Tony Slattery. Lord.
I think it was fantastic. I think that the Shang-Chi trailer was a great little finally Awkwafina, by the way, being in the MCU is everything. But I think also for me, I just loved how the trailer was kind of like everything you love about Marvel, but with that added kind of Crouching Tiger kind of aesthetic with some of the fight scenes and stuff. It's just that's going to be really special.
It definitely has some like moments in there. Just reminds me of like the old Bruce Lee movies as well, which is super, super cool looking aesthetically, at least. And I'm just like hoping that they treat everything respectfully and that they don't, fall into like old stereotyping or anything like that. But
I think they're taking a step in the right direction by making sure that the director and the writers and whatever are Asian people as well. So I think there's a level of understanding of what they've got on their hands.
It's actually really nice to see like the level of diversity that Marvel seems to be trying to inject into all their shows going forward as well, in terms of like even having a show that's centered around like a again, a black man and the issues that he faces going forward, and just trying to be a person existing in America and everything that comes with. And they go to some like pretty interesting places there that you wouldn't think Disney of all companies would do.
I agree completely. I mean,
considering they shy away from like anything controversial.
And this was not, as we previously talked about, these are not easily excisable, cuttable LGBT moments in Disney films that they can cut out and remarket to other territories.
Like
this is
the point of the whole series is literally like these issues. And
the speech that Sam gave right at the end about sort of the whole refugee thing that nearly had me in tears.
Ceddy, this is why you got to watch it. I'm trying not to say anything that's going to give too much away.
I mean, even if you accidentally spoil it, I won't mind. Like, I'm not the kind of person that will be. Oh my god, you're spoiling! I don't care. Yeah.
Well, there are 50 other people with us as well that I'm trying not to spoil it for either. It is stunning, and to have a scene with two black guys on screen talking about the sort of like the complete racial disparity that exists in the world on a Disney property, I think is amazing. And the social commentary alone is worth watching those 6 episodes. But I think
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
It does strike me a little weird in terms of like it still feels a little bit military propaganda-y, but like other than that, I feel like it kind of from what I've heard from my friends and those who like in the communities of people of color, they seem to have, I wouldn't say hit the nail on the head, but they're definitely moving in the right direction.
I think they chipped some of the edges off. For sure. One thing that I was perhaps saddened about is obviously the impact of the pandemic globally has been appalling for many reasons. But it has put paid to some of the entertainment numbers, and this being one of them. This was not meant to be shown the way it was shown.
No, it's out of order, isn't it? Because
it's out of order, literally out of order. We should have had the Black Widow movie by now. We should have had something else. The Eternals movie should have been out by now as well. So characters that were introduced into this show and WandaVision should have cropped up in previous movies. Apparently as well, it's very weird that WandaVision cracked on for like 10 episodes or whatever it was, but this only made it to 6 episodes. From what I've heard, if you remember the first episode where they talk about the fact that they're nicking
vaccines,
they're nicking vaccines, but that was never ever explained as to what they were up to.
No, they're like, I think we spoke about that. They could have been like a storyline. Yeah,
they cut around the fact that the world was undergoing a bit of a pandemic at the time, and they needed vaccines, and it's just a little bit too on the nose. But I think we lost a lot of content, I think, from that series.
Yeah, I think they had to cut out a lot because, like, that's the theory, isn't it? Like, a lot of people thinking that this particular series actually centered around a pandemic, and it was literally like, well, okay, well, that's again too close to reality, so let's move away from that. But it does feel like there's some weird moments there where they've like ADR'd in lines and things that don't really make sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff shot over people's shoulders where they.
What did you prefer, this or WandaVision?
WandaVision.
It's very different. They're very different experiences.
This was literally Captain America 4 spread over 6 lots of 50 for 300, about 5 hours.
Confirmation, by the way. There's going to be a new Captain America movie.
Yes, I saw. Done by the head writer and the director of the last 2 episodes as well. So they know their shit.
Exactly.
And I'm really excited for that. And it's going to be interesting to see how a TV property can leap back onto the big screen. But I don't think there is a split nowadays between what is a movie and what's on Disney Plus, because they're literally making mini movies. I mean, but for genius level that you could only do on the small screen, to be honest with you, is WandaVision. Like, that would never work as a film. The whole concept could not be a film.
How did you feel about WandaVision, Ceddy? Because I know you said you watched that.
It's been Agatha all along. I'm telling you this. When that song came out, I was like, whoa!
I needed that in my life. It was so good. Yeah.
I was really rooting for, because deep down, I kind of like guess, okay, Can we spoil it? I don't give a fuck. You should have watched it by now.
It's way behind us.
You know, like I was like waiting for. I mean, we all know that the nosy neighbor is gonna be the villain or the antagonist. But I was secretly hoping that maybe she's not that bad because in the comic she kind of like trains. The
she's like a mentor figure, isn't she?
Yeah. So obviously in this movie, like in this series, if you don't see any other villain, then she has to be one. And the fight scene, woo!
So I called that ending before it happened. Like as soon as she was like missing shots on it, and I was thinking, oh, what's that? She's setting up runes. She's totally setting up runes, and I was just like, my girl, let's go.
She just met her once in the basement. She was tossed around. Remember, Agatha was like tossing her, and then she was like, but she remembers how to activate a rune. Like you just know you can't fuck with her. Like I don't know what was she thinking. Like if I could speak to Agatha, I would be like, girl, like you gotta know that the Scarlet Witch she was mentioned in the book. What were you thinking? It's like going to Jesus and be like, Jesus, I want to test you, I want to take your power. You are asking for it. You are dying for it. Like, but I am very happy because after that, I've been doing a lot of research for Catherine Hahn, the actress of Agnes, Agatha, and I love the fact that she's getting the publicity and the love because she was appearing briefly in other shows and she doesn't really have that kind of love. And this one really puts her on the map. And oh wow,
she needs multiple nominations.
She's so good,
as much as she can, because like across all of those different time periods, plus the sort of plus Agnes, plus Agatha, plus the number of characters literally she played on that show was amazing. Each one completely different, each one in its own unique way, and it was just amazing. She's absolutely amazing actress.
She said she recorded Agatha all along through Zoom. I was like, what?
Really? That's amazing. That's awesome. I will say that I'm so glad that she's actually getting some rep now because like I've loved her for a while, especially since she was in what was the show called? Transparent, I believe. Like I can't remember when that came out. I think that was like probably like 7 or 8 years ago now. But that was literally just a show focused around trans people and like transgender issues and what it's like to be like a trans person. And like she's not trans in it, of course. Like she plays somebody who is in a relationship with somebody who's within a family because it's about a trans person who comes out and they're like a father who starts transitioning like really late in life. So it's about how she's coming to terms with the family around them and becoming like the new mother and things like this. And Catherine Hahn's role in that was like fantastic as well. And so like on the back burner, I've been like, yeah, she's so good. She's so good. And then it's everybody loves her now. And I'm like, yay. Yes.
Yeah.
Get it, girl. Get it.
We don't even remember the bad thing she did, except for the fact that she said, I killed Sparky too. You know what? Like, okay, I was angry.
Like so maniacal and like amazing. Like I can't hate it. Like,
we're like, we were. I don't know what's with LGBT and our obsession towards problematic queens. Because normally, if a straight white man was like, I killed Sparkly too, we were like, fuck
that guy, fuck that guy right now.
It's over for your career. Fuck you. But when she did, it's like, well, you're gonna have to do that, you know. Sparky was in your way, so poor dog.
What's coming up next? Loki. Ooh,
Loki. Oh, I love me some Tom Hiddleston. Oh, I'm gonna be so happy with that series when it comes out. And even like Owen Wilson having a role in the MCU now with his white hair. Like,
who would have thought, right?
I didn't even recognize him. Literally, I watched the trailer a few times. Watched the trailer a few times, and it was only when somebody said it was, and then I noticed the nose, and I was like, oh, that is Owen Wilson. And it's like
I found out, and I was like, wow.
He's Mobius or something from the Temporal Variance Authority. If I got that right. Which is huge because that is another chunk of the MCU that we're sort of going to start seeing. It's literally, I mean, obviously it's a huge resource that they've got, Disney Plus, but Kevin Feige and the team at Marvel, they must be sat there surrounded by comics, and just and this literally is what you said, Mira, about it's just dunked on DC completely, because there is no way back for DC. I don't think. I
don't even know what they're doing over there anymore.
They've given up
all over
basically. They've now settled for that. They tried to rush out a universe and forgot the fact it took Marvel 10 years to put that together. They tried to whip it out in like 3 movies and go, hey, we've got Justice League, and it's like, well, you haven't. Obviously.
Everybody knows that you don't just like whip it out that quickly.
You don't just whip it out on the third date. Exactly.
You take time with it.
But not 10 years. You get bored. But for me, it's just like I just don't know. And now they're into the DC ones are now multiverse, and everyone can do anything they want in any film, and it doesn't really matter. And it's just like, okay, fair enough, whatever.
You know, I did y'all see the what was the Suicide Squad 2 trailer?
I did.
I was impressed. I was looking at it. I was like,
the only thing that like kind of like gets me from that film is I just want to see King Shark on screen. That's all I want to see. Just like tearing people into, like, I'm totally down for that experience if I get to see King Shark do a bunch of stuff. But
I just don't. I don't quite understand. I mean, it might become more apparent, but it looks like a go around. It doesn't look like a sequel. It doesn't, it just looks like, oh, we're going to try again. It's like, you can't just put a movie out and then go, well, that's a bit shit, we'll try it again in 2 years' time. And
that seems to be all that DC does. Like, oh, that's a bit shit.
True.
Let's try something else. You know, Robert Pattinson is Batman now.
I think when Zack Snyder like left, that whole shit went downhill. I think, you know.
Well,
please tell me y'all watched the Snyder Cut.
No, I have better things to do than 4 hours.
I don't want to spend my time watching that. Apparently, it's a
schlep.
It's Zack Snyder, so yeah, I'm not a massive fan of
no.
stuff, unfortunately.
Oh, really? Oh God! Because you know why? Because it should have been on. Yeah, no,
I've heard from a lot of people that is the better version of the film, and like I would love to see it like on a big screen, honestly, like over the version that we ended up getting. But I'm just kind of like done with DC. The last project that I cared about from DC was literally just the Harley Quinn animated series. It is so good. Ooh. I don't know if you've seen it, but
yes. It's interesting. DC animation seems to be going through an absolute wave.
The animations are better. I don't know why.
Yeah. Although I did really actually enjoy, I think it's one of the last films you saw before everything went sideways. But there was the last Harley Quinn movie, the Fantabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
Oh, Birds of Prey, yeah.
Birds of Prey.
Yeah, Birds of Prey. It was
actually really good. I really enjoyed that.
I didn't see that.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and I think it's because it's a film it's not trying to be a superhero film. It's just a fun film. I just don't think DC, that it's just, I don't know, they're not getting it, and I don't think they've ever really had it. And it's you only got to look at the start of WandaVision, where you have that FBI agent that come back, and he did
Jimmy Woo,
and produced his business card with a magic trick.
Close-up magic trick,
That whole thing it's like that's 5 years in the making just for that one joke. And DC is like, well, okay, but Superman and beats Batman by talking about their mums having the same name. That's the same. It's like, no, that's shit. Go. What on earth are you doing? Whatever. I can't be.
I think my problem with DC is because I think to some people they enjoy it because it's dark, it's more serious. But that's the thing that doesn't really appeal to me. Because I like WandaVision and Marvel movies because it's bright, it's colorful. They play with a lot of lights and all.
It's superhero stuff. It's not.
Yeah, and you're like, oh my God, I'm living with the fantasy. But then when you watch DC, you have to hear Ben Affleck's rescue. Mother. It's like, okay.
Save Martha.
Like, you want to know what would be awesome if they would actually fucking invest on Poison Ivy, Catwoman, not like those men with just guns and shit.
These
like
fantastic characters. And this is exactly why I love the Harley Quinn animated show, because like they take all those characterizations and they play with them, and they're so fun. And they have these like wonderful women. They have like Poison Ivy and Harley, kind of spoilers, kind of like exploring their relationship, which gets very LGBTQIA plus esque. So yeah, definitely. Out of anything with DC, I recommend that show and that show alone. Kaylee Cuoco kills it as Harley Quinn. Like absolutely.
I have to tell you all about The Invincible. If you have Amazon,
I've heard of this. Yeah, I've heard of this. Tell me more about this because I've not seen it.
So at first, I was like, come on. Like, come on. It's a ripoff. That guy is literally just Superman. Oh, that guy is this and that. You will see a lot of references of like familiar superheroes.
It's kind of like parody-esque though, isn't it? Like something like
it's not really parody. I thought it's parody at 1st, I thought. But they have a story of their own, and every episode, it just gets gory and gorier. And it's like, what the fuck? The first episode, it was like so good. And, they introduced some superheroes, like how glamorous they are. They're celebrated. They have their powers. And then second episode, I can't spoil it, but you will just go, what the fuck?
For the audio, just for the audio listeners, Ceddy was doing a shocked face. In case you're listening to the audio portion of this podcast.
Yes, Ceddy was stunned and shook because of how amazing the story was. And if you guys love, Marvel, not DC, give it a try. Watch 2 episodes at least.
I will just ask, have you seen The Boys?
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, because that seems like it would be a little bit like The Boys. How much, like, are they kind of like in the same kind of camp?
Invincible is animated. So I would say 75%. That kind of gore. Yeah, the gore, the twist. And you're like, what? Just don't root for anyone, okay? Just don't root. Just watch it like you are watching Game of Thrones.
I love a show where all the characters are just like terrible. So yeah, I'm down. I'll definitely give that a run. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Go watch it and let me know. I mean, like if you find Ceddy, what the fuck is bad? I respect that. Yeah, like what the fuck is trash, but I enjoy that. Yeah.
Let's keep talking about your love and taste of things, because I think we time to move on to your interview segment, the talent portion of the podcast. It's time for a spotlight. So let's get to know you a bit more. You started streaming around about October 2017. What got you into streaming? What was your kind of gateway into streaming?
2017? Oh my god, 4 years ago? Okay. So funny thing is I've never known anything about, I don't know streaming. I don't know what is Twitch. And I've always wanted to be a YouTuber because, back in those days, you have Smosh, I don't know what year Smosh, they were like making skits and all. I was like, oh my god, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be famous, want to be a star, no, I'm just kidding. And the thing is that I've never done any of those because I'm very conscious about my voice. I have that gay voice, and I've been called the T slur, even though people don't. The thing about Malaysians is that they don't understand what a trans person is, and they thought that, and when they hurl that kind of word towards somebody, it's always coming out from hate. Like, oh my god, you have the T voice. Like, dude, shut up. Like, you're just ignorant. And I take shit like that all my life. And but I have this dream to be a YouTuber, to be in a show, to act, but I've never done any of that until I started playing League of Legends. And then this guy, I have to thank him, but I don't even remember who that guy is. He's a rando. And he started posting link, twitch.tv/something. And I was like, is that a virus? Like, why would you post that stupid URLs? And then curiosity got the best of me. I clicked on it. And then I opened, the browser. There he was, sitting at the corner of the screen, playing League of Legends where I am in the game. And my first impression was, why would I be a dumbass to watch somebody play that game when I'm playing the game myself? It's so stupid. What kind of concept is that? And then I was like, okay, this is interesting. So I started looking at Twitch, and then I saw, streamer Ninja makes his millions on Twitch. I was like, what? All right, back it up. What is this? So I started seeing what people are doing on Twitch, and people go, oh my God, you can make a living out of it just by being good in game and entertaining. But even though the concept is stupid as hell, but look where we are. So I gave it a try. So I was like, okay, maybe I can give it a try, but I'm not gonna like try to make it anywhere. Like I just want to like try it. But the response have been great because I'm quite thankful because most of my viewers are Americans and Europeans, and UK, part of Europe, right? For now, you all are very open-minded and you understand. Like there are homophobes, transphobes, but generally the people that you meet, especially when it comes to like Western countries, all of you are more accepting and kinder. Because I've had Malaysians coming to my stream and they started getting all disrespectful and like, are you a boy or a girl? Like, why you sound like that? Like,
believe me, I get that all the time, dude.
And my go-to is like, do you have money before you want to ask all that questions? Because I'm all about getting a sugar daddy. Like, if you don't have money, don't bother asking because it does nothing for me. But people, in my country, we are so close-minded. I'm not so close-minded, so conservative, but I can't fully place the fault on everybody because Malaysia is Islam predominant country. So therefore, it is extremely forbidden to be LGBT or to become LGBT according to their interpretation. So when I started streaming, the response was great. People were sweet, wanting to know who I am, and that elevates my confidence. Yeah. It's the love.
I will say, like out of all the streamers out there, I kind of like found you on Twitter amongst in terms of like the LGBTQ scene, just being so loud and fabulous and just unapologetically you, which is wonderful. I'm imagining that this attracts a lot of people to your content, but what do you feel is what attracts people to you and your content?
I think it's because, people say that I have the charisma, that I'm able to carry a conversation. And so I started streaming League of Legends. Look how, self-harm is bad. Don't do that. And then I tried gaming. But then I realized during the break or when I'm not gaming, people like to talk to me. And I realized that it's the fact that I'm able to talk to them. And at the end of the day, many of our viewers, you will know that they seek company, they seek friendship, and they seek somebody to talk to. And I think I'm able to be somebody that can have a conversation with them. And at the same time, I don't talk down to them. And, they get a lot of people say, oh, Ceddy, you're nice because you talk to us. I'm like, okay, so what else am I supposed to do? Then say you could have just stick to your games and like, hi Mia, hi Robin, yeah. But people love it because I'm able to talk to them and I'm able to laugh about things. And like you said, I am being unapologetically me, but that is also something that people hate about me because people hate my guts. Oh my God, I've had people blocking me and then after they unblock me and they're like, I never liked you, but I'm going to give you a chance. I'm like, okay, how does that make me like, am I supposed to feel good about that? Like,
yeah, it's like, yeah, okay. That's definitely somebody that you want in your life. So you're going to give me a chance? No, there's the door. Bye-bye. Get out.
Well, you're going to give me a chance? Like, okay. And because people, I always give people that impression that I am this loud, vulgar, people associate me with, obnoxious, loud. Oh, this person is so unfiltered. But the thing is, I always think that people think that way about me because the streamer culture, the streamer Twitter or the streamer culture as a whole it's filled with people who love to butter somebody up, even though they are not being genuine.
Yeah.
How many times do you see people like, oh my God, like you're great, you're doing good. Now, the thing is that I do believe that you don't put somebody down. Like, for example, if you know somebody is not a great singer and they try to sing, I won't be like, oh my God, stop singing, like, ew. But there are people who are like, the person is not good, that there are rooms for improvement, and they're like, oh my God, like you're the best singer. Like, Beyonce is quaking. But you give that kind of, and then people they believed in that, and then they continue to make that kind of content, and it's not working for them, and then they spiral. That's why you're like, I don't think you are being truthful to these people.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that, because I don't want people to lie to me.
That can be like somewhat like harmful as well in the long term, right? If you're just pushing people down paths that they're not necessarily
and I think some people do that
say.
intentionally. What do you think? Like some people,
maybe
them.
Possibly, just to like just to see, in terms of like what drama can happen from this. This would be interesting.
That's why
I imagine there are people out there like that.
Yeah, I'm always staying in my own little circle with my mods, because like a lot of people talk about having this streamer clique, like, oh, those cool kids clubs. I'm like, where? Literally, where? I don't need these cool bitches to get the viewership and shit. Like, I'm being myself. Like, some of you need to try that instead of trying to be part of. Because let me tell you this, in my opinion, those cliques are not healthy at all.
Like, in terms of like those in groups and stuff, it's like it's not ideal. It's not great. It's like it can lead to like a lot of toxicity between each other as well. That kind of like leaks out, especially with like the perception from the outside looking in too. Like, you think these places are also wonderful and that people have each other's back constantly, but it's not always like that.
And I'm also very open about the fact that I'm not very welcome in the LGBT community scene in the streaming world. I'm aware. I just don't talk about that much, because I feel that people be like, what, but where? But you just can tell that when people don't want you to be around. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the sad thing about gays,
you could tell when somebody doesn't want you there. Yeah, definitely. I felt that.
That
in certain places, like, I felt very like throwaway and like, you're why are you here? That whole thing. You can kind of
that's
feel
so
it.
sad. And it's sadder when gays are doing that to other gays.
Yeah.
Some gay, I'm talking about gay as in like gay men. They think that being sassy is a personality trait. Like, I think I'm sassy, but there's a difference between sassy and mean and fucking bitchy, and that's another level. There are gay men who are just bitchy for no fucking reason, and they look at you like, sorry, can't sit with us. Like,
yeah, exactly. It does fascinate me how our own community turns in on itself so quickly, and like we're all in one way or another in the same boat, and we really should all be holding each other up. Rather than cutting each other down. Have you always been out and proud on your stream? Is it something that you've always? Obviously, you mentioned like having the voice and having that kind of thing. But from day one, was it something that you just said, "Fuck it, I'm gay. Let's get over it"?
I mean, I wasn't really that open about it until I realized that, okay, 92%, over 95% of my viewers are Americans. I can say that because I don't want Malaysians to like come to me and, no. I don't talk about that on my TikTok. I talk about food. So let's just stay that way. And people ask me, Ceddy, are you, I'm like, none of your business, talk about food. But in streaming, I'm always open about it because I feel like, you just know. Mia, if I tell you I'm straight, Robin, I'm straight, you're going to be like, girl, please.
I guess that would be very, very, very. I'd actually kind of love to see.
I would love
you try to go a stream like just being completely like,
It's the fact that when you're trying to do. You tried to do Ben Affleck's gruff voice earlier.
Yeah.
That didn't work either.
Coming to my stream. Thanks, Robin. Thanks, Mia. Yo, such a great day. Yo, my God, I got a headshot, bro.
This is the straightest man I've ever met. Definitely. But in terms of like just existing as a person within the LGBTQ sphere on Twitch in general, I know you've probably faced a lot of like toxicity from gamers and things like that. Is that something like that? Like how is that something that you deal with? And like if somebody else was like LGBT and planning on getting into streaming, would you pass any advice on to them, or like how did you deal with it, and what would be your advice to pass on to other people?
Okay. Two things. Okay. One, therapy. I fucking spent money on therapy after getting into streaming. I am not joking.
Really?
I never knew the impact of therapy because I never believed in that. No, not that I don't believe in therapy. I never believed that I needed that. You know, I'm this bubbly person. You know, I am so outspoken. I love my friends. My friends love me. How did I end up crying at the couch in front of my therapist? Like, what have I done? You know, yeah, it can get very, very, very overwhelming. But I will always advise new people that when you want to try content creation, it's a very pessimistic view. You have to accept that you will be hated by people. 200%. You cannot escape that. Your existence is going to be a pain to some motherfuckers. But when you finally experience the love, oh my God, like those people that you see in my chat right now, these are the people that are holding me. And they are the chosen family. You know, like you are going to be you will deal with hate. You will deal with people who are coming to you with all sorts of insult and all. But there are things that you already know. Like people be like, oh my God, you and your F word voice. You and I'm like, oh, you love to suck. Of course, tell me something new. But really invest in the therapy because it helps. Because I very quickly, there was one time, so TikTok kind of like exposed me to the local audience. And for a while, I never wanted Malaysians to watch me because of the kind of insult. So Americans can come and call you the T word, the F word, and they'll be done with their day, right? They will disappear. But Malaysians can be very personal, like your voice, why do you sound like this? Why do you look like this? And they have no boundaries because they thought that, oh, you're one of us, so you can take jokes. But like, I don't even fucking know you. So there was one time I broke down because I think I was at the lowest point in my mental health. And then somebody just came in and be like, you and your terrible voice over, because when I do TikTok, I don't dance and all that shit. I was talking about where I eat and all. You and your voice, I can't stand your voice. Please hire a better voice over guy. And what the fuck is with your voice? So it was like, it hit me out of nowhere. Even though deep down I know that, come on, I've heard that so many years. What is this? You know? But it just hit me at that one point, and I was like, okay, what's wrong with my voice? Like, am I so annoying? Like, why do you all keep talking about my voice?
I definitely feel like some days, like, it's just water off a duck's back, like, most of the time. But then there's that one time it's just like, and it just washes over you, and you're like, oh God, like, you start questioning everything. So yeah, I totally feel that. Like, how did you deal with that? Like, I love your voice, by the way. I think your voice is great.
Thank you.
Yeah. But like, fuck those people, obviously. But
well, I look at it, and then after that, I went to shower and I just cry in the bathroom. But not because not because I believe in them, but it's like I'm frustrated that I can't reach through my hand in the phone and choke them because they're like, but I can't do anything to them. So I'm like, So I went to cry, and then I scheduled my appointment with my therapist, and he gave me a very good input that I just want to share with people who's listening. He said that there are people who are anti-fans. And I said, what the fuck are those people? He said, there are people who exist to tear down people who are celebrated. For no reason. There is no reason why they're doing that. They could look at you, Mia constantly on front page and just, I want to call her the T word. No reason. They don't know you. And then I said, what was the motive? And he said that because you have to understand, there are people who, if they can't form a friendship with you, they want to be your enemy. And think about people who are like maybe Chris Evans or some famous Chris, right? Not Chris Pratt. Chris
Pine.
Talk about that one.
Chris Pine, for example. You want to be Chris Pine. Everybody want to be Chris Pine's friend. But you cannot. I cannot. Robin cannot unless, but Robin could because, Maisie Williams, but generally it's hard for us to be his friend because he probably would have had his close friends or he's so busy and all. But it would be another if you are his enemy. Like all you do is to trash talk him and you got his attention and you can be like, I am Chris Pine's number one enemy. And that's a relationship too. And my therapist was like, yeah, there are people who want to be your enemy because it's a form of relationship and you have to starve them from the attention. Because he said, you're a fiery person. So you are always responding to them. You are giving them what they want. So you need to stop. I said, but how? He said, it's not going to be easy, but I'm going to tell you this. The more you respond to them, the more they're going to get in your head. And
it's like stoking the fire, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're just going to keep, fanning the fire and it's just going to keep burning you. And then he said, you have to look at them in two ways. One, look at them as a floating trash in the river. If you observe this trash, fine, nothing's going to happen to you. But the minute you engage them, it's like trying to cling onto them and you're going to float with them to nowhere. I was like, okay, that's a really good analysis. And that's awesome. That's nice. And the second thing is you have to approach them with pity because these are the people who are not happy with their life. Something is, they don't have access to mental health. That's why they feel that the only way to communicate with somebody is to trash talk first instead of getting to know. Because he said, what would you do if you see somebody that you don't like? I say, I see that all the time. When I scroll Twitter, I see content that I might not like. Or maybe Mia could have tweeted something that I was like, shit take. But I'm able.
I do it all the time. I do it all the time. Believe me, I do.
Maybe you would have. But what happens if I see you have a take that is like, that I don't agree with? Either I'll be like, oh, I don't think that is right. Or, I will just scroll. Because there is no need to get into a heated argument. Because you put your point out there. But no, some people will have let's go with the slur first. But why? I see content that I don't like on TikTok, especially they push you content that you are like, oh my God, scroll. Mark is not interested, but people will come to me and be like, oh my God, your voice is so fucking annoying. I can't stand you. If I see you somewhere, I'm going to do something bad to you. I was like, over my voice, not my food. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is sort of terrible. The sort of the modern age of internet harassment and trolls and stuff is just little people it's
a lack of consequences.
Absolutely, and it's the anonymity of sitting behind an egg profile, just throwing shit around. It's like, well, who's the one that's sat on screen talking? Who's the one that's making the life out of it? Who's actually doing good at it?
Making positive changes in the world, whereas
exactly.
And not being the other person that's tearing other people down. I think that's what I try and focus on as well, is the positive changes that I've made to people, and definitely that keeps me going and stops me from having to think about all the.
You have a very big impact in the LGBT where you have to believe in that, because I see your shit, all good shit on my Twitter. You're one of those. Yeah, like I said, I don't think we started following. I think you were reprehensive about me because of my association with so and so. Remember?
Oh, so and so. Oh, wait. Are we talking about her? Yeah. Yeah. I think maybe. Yeah, I don't think.
Because you told me that after that you said, you said, after I publicly talk about that, And then people started reaching. I said, "Oh, Ceddy, I'm so sorry. I didn't really want to associate with you because I thought you are very good friend with so and so." And I was like, "I understand."
I completely forgot about all of that, but yeah, that's probably what happened as well. Because that, I don't want anything to do with that. That whole thing. But yeah.
But look where we are. We are hanging out. We are being friends and all that. You're definitely welcome to sit with me. If people be like, oh, Mia, you can't sit with us. Bullshit. Robin, let's all have. I wish we can meet up. And if we ever meet up,
honestly.
We can cafe
Definitely.
hop and then talk shit about
Yes.
the cup
Yes,
coffee.
teach me about cafe hopping because I'm
Yeah.
obviously terrible at it. I just go
It's
to
out
the
there.
same place every single time I go out. So goddamn, yeah.
I have a really,
I'm not
really
trendy at
predictable.
all. I mean, I can't even I can't even fuck with like TikTok. Like I know nothing about TikTok, so you'll have to teach
But
me about like that side of
don't
things.
underestimate TikTok. Like I was shit talking TikTok non-stop. Oh my god, I was like, what the fuck? These dumbass people dancing, lip syncing, and it's so poorly lip syncing too. You know?
I will say it just makes me feel old when I look at it, and I don't know how to engage with that. That's how I feel towards
And
TikTok.
then people were like, Ceddy, you need to get on there because it's a good publicity for you. I said, well, why? I'm not gonna dance. I'm 33 years old. If I dance, osteoporosis will hit me. And then I started scrolling, and then I started seeing older people around our age group. Like I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. You don't see yes, there are older people who are dancing and all, but you will see a different kind of content by older people. Oh my god, it pains me to say older people because 30 plus, unfortunately, is old for a lot of youngsters. They started like talking about their experience. They share their experience, their expertise. I've seen Dr. Ina, she is a psychologist. Because on TikTok, there are people who are like, psychological facts. If you dream about Robin, it's because Robin was thinking about you. And then you see a lot of people saying things like, oh my God, is this real? And there's this psychologist who is a professor. She is a mother. And she was like, well, let me tell you all that this is not true. She's debunking all those. I was like, that is why I decided to give it a try. And damn, it's so like what Demon Cat is saying. There's so much different content. Like I am doing food vlogging. It's such a niche thing and it worked.
I will say, like, maybe there's like a weird perception issue from everybody that's on the outside looking in for TikTok because, like, a lot of this stuff I generally haven't heard about. Like, I imagine there's a lot of misinformation on there, and it's nice to hear that it's being debunked too. Honestly,
yeah. I mean, I think they did changes back then. Yeah, somebody leaked that they were extremely homophobic, transphobic, and only if you are this. I remember there was one time I was so angry because it says that. If somebody leaked out the document that said if you are disabled, they will not put you on the front page because they only want presentable people to be on screen. Now I was like, fuck that. Like what the hell is this bullshit? And after that, I kind of see that because of the backlash, they started improving it. And I started seeing like on my feed, you can actually see like all sorts of people, disabled people, trans people. Oh my God, in Malaysia, there's this trans girl. I pray that nothing happens to her because she's so fucking out. And like, she's like, somebody be like, there was a meme that goes around and said, tell me you are something without telling me you are something. It is a meme on TikTok. So this person is like, tell me you are Malaysian without telling me you are Malaysian. And then this drag queen, I can't remember if she's a drag queen or she's a trans person, but she's fierce as fuck. She was like, well, in my country, I don't exist. I was like, that is brilliant.
That's so good.
Malaysia, you don't exist. It's good, but it's morbid as fuck when you think about it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's horrifying. Like, goddamn. Jesus.
Yep.
You also, as well as everything else you do, singer, YouTuber, you also have a podcast. Tell us about your podcast.
No, yeah, I know about this. You've had like so many like high profile guests on there too. I'm aware that you're I believe you're friends with the voice of Symmetra and Anjali?
Yes. Yeah. Anjali and okay, so interestingly, I talked to Anjali before I even started streaming. I was, typical gay man in love with Symmetra only in Overwatch and Moira and all those awesome queens. So I played Symmetra, and first of all, because Symmetra is Indian and the accent is like, whoa, like it's very familiar to me because I'm in Malaysia. We have multicultural country. We have Chinese, Malay, and Indians. So I was like, okay, first of all, that accent is so good. And then second of all, she's so fierce. And I want to know who is the person that gives lives to Symmetra. Who is this person? So I search around. It's Anjali Bhimani. And then I was like, I want to be creepy to like stalk her on social media. And she's there. So I interacted with her on Twitter. I was like, oh my God, I just want to let you know that I'm a big fan of your work. Thank you so much for giving life to Symmetra. I am a fan of her. I main her. I have a gold weapon. I have this. I have that. And the thing is, Symmetra Anjali doesn't really play Overwatch. So she can only, she can only entertain my excitement for the character, because she doesn't really know what Symmetra does that much. I mean, she plays, but she's not like a pro. But she was like, thank you so much for the love. And then a few times I will respond to a tweet and she's right into my DM to talk about something. And then I was like, oh my God, did I just get a response from the queen? And we started talking. And then she was like, she's one of the first few people that really got me into streaming, because she was like, oh my God, I want to get to know who you are. Can we talk? So we talk, and she's like, Ceddy, you need to give yourself a break, and you need to believe that your humor is a superpower. And what do you want to do? I said, oh, I wanted to be a YouTuber, but I'm so scared of people judging my appearance and my voice. I wanted to be podcaster. I want to be a podcaster because I can hide behind, the screen. I can talk. And she's like, Ceddy, try one of them. And if you want me to be on your show, I will be on your show. I was like, are you for real? And I tried streaming. And after a while, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try just chatting for a minute. And she hopped onto my show. And that gave me a little bit of boost, because people were starting to be like, who the hell is this gay boy from Malaysia who can talk to an Overwatch voice actress? Like, who the fuck is that? And then she started introducing me to other cast members. But I don't get them on the show yet, because I haven't gotten them on the show because I don't know them. And she came to the Philippines with at the time it was Comic Con, and she the voice actress of Sombra, Farah, and the other one. Wait, what the fuck was? Wait, yeah, it's just the three, and Zanyara. They were all in Philippines, so I was in Malaysia, and that's the closest we can ever meet because I don't fly to the USA yet. So I went there to meet them, and she introduced me to all of them, and I was like, will you be on my show? 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 They say yes, 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 yes. And I was like, yeah. So it started with one person, and Anjali has been the light in my life. Like, it's always important to have somebody who's gonna be able to push you and point out the strength that you have. Now, I think association is very important. The people that you want to associate yourself with.
Definitely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, my cat is like screaming up a storm. I apologize for that.
No, it's okay. I have 4 cats, so I know.
Yeah.
So your podcast is available on all the usual platforms.
It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, but I kind of put a stop to that. I haven't been doing podcasts for 2 months, and it's all TikTok's fault.
Oh.
Do I want to bring it back? Yes, I am. I do want to bring it back.
And for people trying to find it, what's it called?
It's called CeddyOrNot. Search it on Spotify. You will see my face, and then the podcast is there. Yeah.
Maybe there's some way that like you could change the format to like make it viable for the TikTok side as well. You can like cut it up into like smaller portions. No, too much work.
No. Because these motherfuckers, they were like, oh, these youngins, they're like, I knew that because Trisha Paytas and the other guy, they have this Frenemies podcast. I've heard a lot of people say, so they post the clips there, once or twice. And I see a lot of people saying things like, oh my God, why must it be a podcast? Like, we don't have 20 minutes or 40 minutes for that. I was like, oh my God, you don't have 20 minutes? Because I would listen to a podcast for an hour. Like, that's how old I am. Like, I can, if a podcast is great, I will just sit there for like an hour just listening to the whole thing. But like kids these days are like, oh my God, like, we can do 20 minutes. 5 minutes is all we have. What the fuck am I going to talk about in 5 minutes? What the hell?
So TikTok, not the place for podcast content. Got it. All right.
Yeah, no, you only have maximum 3 minutes.
I will say, maybe there's a chance, like once the pandemic is under control, maybe you could do more podcasts in like a live setting. I know that you've been to TwitchCon. How many times have you been to TwitchCon in the past? Is it just the once? Because I remember that clip of you on the panel being like, "Why are you on Twitch?" Yeah, what was the quote exactly?
And I said, I thought I thought I could make money from white people. I don't know why.
Amazing quote. I love that so much. Yeah, I know. Because that was the same panel that you were on with Nicotine as well. Very, very close friend of mine. So I saw that at the time. I was just in hysterics at the time. I was like, yes, go. But speaking of the pandemic, like once it's all over, once everything is under control, are there any like plans that you have for like either on your stream offline or online, or is there anything that you'd like to do live? Would you like to take your podcast to like TwitchCon and do it live or something like that?
You know what? I would love to vlog about TwitchCon if I could. Like if I could go again, I can see you. I'm like, hi, this is my people. We're sitting on the same table, not y'all.
Honestly, like I'm missing it so much. Just events and meeting up with people. Like yeah. But we could go like.
I didn't even get into the partner lounge. I was like, I'm a Twitch partner. I could get in the partner lounge, right? I never had the chance for 3 days. It was meeting people. Like I remember the last day, I was like, oh my God, I have to go in there just to see what's up. I've never been there. And on my way there, people were stopping me. I not gonna brag, I felt like a fucking star. At that moment, because people were like welcoming me, and on my way back, I was flying back, I was tearing up in my plane. I was like, I said, people treated me like a star. When I come back to this country, I'm gonna be a fucking flop. Nobody knows about me, bitch. This is such a sad thing. And then TikTok put me in Malaysian map again. I was like, oh, no, I'm celeb. But yeah, I'm telling you this. The thing is that if I thought about quitting Twitch at one point because I felt that discoverability is bad, everybody knows. I knew discoverability is bad because I know for a fact that I can fucking put on an entertaining content. I have a fucking clip that I think is entertaining. But you know what happens? After you watch your clip, right, they will show you the next clip. After I watch my own clip, I laugh at my own jokes. They suggested Shroud's clip. Why the fuck does he need discoverability? Do you not know who Shroud is?
Yeah, it's like the next clip is always like the biggest one on Twitch or something. It's like,
why?
I don't even think they're monetized. It doesn't even make any sense. Like, so yeah, it's super frustrating. Yeah, definitely.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking stop Twitch. But the thing is that, right? White people money. And second, it's really the community that I formed. Like, all of you were nice people. And I'm not gonna like, oh, fuck this platform and just be gone. Like it or not, it is a home. And I really enjoyed my time at TwitchCon. I miss everybody that I met and crossed paths with, even though some became my enemies. But that's besides the point. Yeah.
I super miss those live events. Like they're some of the most meaningful experiences that I've personally ever had, and it would be so good just to meet up and again like go to cafes and stuff. We'll explore the US cafe scene together over the course of the next TwitchCon, maybe if you're up for it.
In San Diego, there were many good places to eat. Because I was like, roaming around. But at the time, I did not know about TikTok and I did not know about vlogging and didn't want to do vlogging. So I was like, my life is all about Twitch only. Do not make the same mistake, okay? Yeah, your life should not be just about Twitch. These are my golden advice to all of you content creators. Even if you want to make videos only on Twitter, do it. Because never underestimate the power of other platforms.
Yeah, diversify that content.
Diversify that shit. Do not live shit and breathe Twitch only, because I always see creators that I'm a full-time Twitch streamer. I'm scared for them. Like, if that's only your source of income, baby, I'm worried for you.
I am sorry, go ahead, Robin.
Oh no, I was going to move. I was going to move on to.
I know you were going to move us to quickfire questions, weren't you?
Yes,
I just wanted to ask Ceddy real quick about your. I saw your marketing thing. Did you want to talk about that for a moment? You can.
Oh yes,
because $15 a month. Is it something like that?
Yes. So I'm running out of money, and I decided to, use.
It's a pandemic. Yeah, we get it. That's understandable.
So I want to make some cash, but I don't want to, I can't flaunt my tatas and all. If I could be in hot tub, I would have done it, to lure, pervs to give me money. So I have no choice but to use my knowledge to teach people marketing. And I personally believe that marketing and branding, they are very important, not just for a content creator, but any kind of businesses out there. Whatever you want to do, you need to learn a little bit about marketing and why it is important. So what I'm going to do is that I was on Patreon for a bit. And then now that I no longer do so much of podcasts, I was like, you know what? I'm going to make people pay me and they have a reason to do so. So I'm moving to Buy Me a Coffee. So if you go to buymeacoffee.com/CeddyOrNot, if you join a membership for like $15 a month, I should have gone higher price like Ashley Christ, but damn it. But anyway, $15 a month, you get to have like I will do a monthly Zoom class where I teach marketing. And it's not just me sitting here like, hello, let's talk about marketing. I will be preparing slides and it's a proper presentation because I always aspired to be a lecturer. Before content creation happened, I always want to be a lecturer, but I knew for a fact that people won't take me seriously because of how young I look. It's true. And I have a master's degree in marketing. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to put that knowledge to waste. And I have been, as a vlogger, because I review businesses a lot, right? I know, like, I don't just go to a place, eat, and be done with my day. I always talk and interview the business owners, and I'll be like, okay, so is there a reason why you're like reaching out to influencers? What do you think is the problem for your business? And I'm hearing it from them, and there's a lot of interesting business tips and advice that you can get. And I'm gonna like every month there will be various topics, and I'm very confident that if people were to sign up for me, it's gonna be limited slots because I don't know how to conduct a big class, and I don't want people to talk over me. I'm gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be you will not regret the session. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, that is my confidence.
That's
But
good.
thanks Mia for bringing this up. Thank you so much. That means a lot.
No worries. Yeah, I saw it and I was like, that's something that needs to be talked about. So hell yeah. Now I guess we'll finish off with our quickfire questions. This is literally just stream of consciousness. Whatever comes to the top of your head, don't panic or anything like that. But we like to just like shoot out these questions, and you can just give us an answer. So if you're ready, you ready?
Ceddy or not?
Okay.
Ceddy, yep, ready.
Ceddy or not? Here we come. What's been your favorite game this year?
Dead by Daylight.
What was the one game that defined your childhood?
Final Fantasy VIII, because when I see Shiva, I was like, oh my god, I want to be her.
Hell yeah. Who's your favorite video game character?
Shiva.
What game do you most want a sequel to?
Sequel? Oh wait, remake or sequel? Oh, sequel. Shit. I
haven't played shit, but we can circle back. Who would be your dream stream guest? That's like podcast or just hanging out gaming.
Stream guest. RuPaul.
Nice. What game are you most looking forward to coming? Okay, no, go on.
Okay, so I know RuPaul has been, people be like, oh my god, RuPaul is transphobic and all those terms. But I always look at RuPaul as business-wise as a person. I always think that RuPaul has been an outcast for so long, and he's been doing all this. He championed for drag queens and the LGBT. He sort of like put drag queens on the map. And I feel like in many ways, I feel the same because I was an outcast for a bit, and I'm trying to make this work by myself. So that is an inspiration. Of course, some people say the fracking part. Those are I don't agree with.
I was going to say he wouldn't be able to come on the podcast. He's too busy fracking somewhere. What game are you most looking forward to coming out?
I'm sorry, RuPaul. I can't have you on my show anymore. I'm sorry for disrespecting you because I laughed. It was so bad. What game am I looking forward to? Okay. Shit. Again, I just said shit, right?
It's a really popular game.
Yeah, it's a very popular game. Honestly, there's not that much coming out.
There isn't. Pandemic. No. The pandemic really has kind of crapped all over our entertainment.
There was one frog game that I was looking forward to. But it's gonna be out 2023. It's called a frog's tale. It's fucking adorable. I saw it on Twitter. I was like, I want it.
Oh, I think I've seen that one.
I'm gonna retweet that. You will see that on my profile. Yep.
Dope. If you were marooned on an island, what 3 games would you want to have with you? Like, these can be like online. They're like magic games, so you can.
Yeah. League of Legends, Overwatch, and Dead by Daylight.
Ooh.
Which game has the best soundtrack?
Final Fantasy 8.
Very good choice.
Day One was good. Eyes on Me.
That Uematsu music. Oh, gotta love it. Last question, final question. Take your time with this one. Where can people find your content, and what have you got coming up across all of your channels?
Wow. Okay, find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Ceddy. I'm gonna be a nighttime streamer. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. I'll be streaming for Ghost. And then I will be on, you can find me on Twitter, twitter.com/CeddyOrNot, TikTok, CeddyOrNot, Instagram, CeddyOrNot. Instagram will be a lot of food stuff, right? Like if you go to my Instagram, you will be like, oh my God, I'm hungry. And yeah, that is the whole point.
Ties nicely back into your TikTok as well. So yeah, I see what you did there.
Yes, a business marketing bitch is here.
Ceddy, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been one of life's great pleasures actually having you on this podcast.
Thank you so much.
It really has, and I can't genuinely wait for when the world can start moving around again, and we can hang out and go to TwitchCon and do what you do at TwitchCon, because I'd never done TwitchCon before. Apparently,
Robin is a TwitchCon virgin, so we're gonna have to break him.
We need to correct that. Oh my God, that needs to be corrected. Ooh.
That is the.
We'll be gentle. Don't worry, we'll be gentle.
Oh, by the way, before I go,
it's not fun if it's not. What?
Remember the gaming awards?
Yes.
Yeah.
So everybody was like, "Ceddy, why are you not in there?" But that's besides the point, because I didn't get people to nominate me. That's my fault. And then everybody was like, "Ceddy, we hope that you win next year." I was like, you know what? I don't want to fucking win next year. If I could, I want to host. I put my name out there first.
For hosting? Okay.
Yeah.
Noted.
Interesting. Robin will note that down, and
I'll see you. We'll see you in London in. I can't
and then Robin
announce.
Be like,
I can't announce when.
Did you watch the first awards? That we got a legit comedian. Who the fuck are you, Ceddy? Oh no, what? But the I can't remember her name. I'm so sorry. That was rude.
Oh, Susie Ruffle.
Oh my God, that was the best host ever. Like she was so energetic.
Yeah.
She was so good. Like I don't know how did y'all find her, but that was the best choice ever.
She's a really popular stand-up comedian here in the UK.
I know. I googled her work after that. I was like, oh my God,
YouTube's full. And there was a TV show that was here about 3 years ago called Go 8-Bit, which was a sort of the Brits love a panel show, so people that compete for no apparent reason. And it's celebrities that were playing video games, and it was fantastic. It was really good. And she was on that, and that kind of gave me a clue that she was a gamer. And then she's obviously sort of in the queer world, and absolutely hilarious. And I was adamant I didn't want a white male hosting, so I'd love to get sort of some female rep in everything I do. And so yes, she just came out top of the list.
Honestly, I kind of want to see Susie and Ceddy in the same room now. That's kind of like that would be amazing.
Because I was asked, I was invited to co-stream. That I was having at first, right? I was a little bit hesitant because the thing about co-streaming is that sometimes if it is not entertaining, you have to fake it. You know how because it's live, right? But I was genuinely very entertained throughout because it was so hilarious, and she was like, and she talks very fast, just like me, like. And I see people in the chat, oh my gosh, she talks too fast. Like, why is there no captioning? I was like, what? It's live!
That's Americans for you.
Yeah. The Americans didn't get the British jokes either. I noticed that too.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
There we go.
Taste.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway, I hate to cut us short, but it is the end of the podcast. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us on this most wonderful, most fabulous episode of the Gayming Podcast. podcast live. I can't talk today. I'm blaming the vaccination. It's not my fault. We'll be back in about 2 weeks' time with the super special guest then, Jeff Brutlag, who is a lovely individual. Jeff's great. In the meantime, don't forget to keep reading Gayming Magazine. Also, you can head on over to gayming.com/Discord and join the Discord and get to interact with us, lovely people, and all the other Gayming Magazine readers in the downtime. But yeah, that's it. We're done. We're going to go now. I'm going to go lie down because I'm especially tired. And yeah, we'll see you all soon. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Ceddy. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye.